Previously on Quest Friends Hereafter. As part of Sparky's Investigates descriptor, Hallie gets to choose a mystery to solve. Protect the rutabaga, or the world ends. I was able to talk to Mr. Scuba, but he did give me this. It is a page ripped out of a book.
Booker starts chewing on the page.
Ah! No!
Booker, I don't think you should eat this right now. We need to...
Racoob!
We need to research it first.
To analyze it, Quique would do the exact sequence of events that Basil of Baker Street does when looking at that one paper.
And then you get a text that just has a very, very different tone to it. This is Overseer Cole. Tell me everything you know. Boydle-Rat's excited yell echoes throughout the empty, sterile back hallways of the Scuba Corps space scraper as she excitedly prances forward and backward, going a little bit ahead of you, and then back to you, and then a little bit ahead and back. Shh. Taladime. She nuzzles. Unlike Oset Scuba's office, which was... maximalist is the friendly term someone would call it. Cluttered as fuck is what most people would call it.
Marie Kondo would not find it a soothing place to be.
Does not spark joy.
Does not spark joy.
These back hallways don't either, because they don't have anything that sparks joy. It's completely empty, barren wall, just a little bit of humming residual light. Like a not very good fluorescent lighting going throughout the walls, like a gamer computer, essentially.
God.
Yeah.
But besides that is completely empty, pure sheer metal. Probably because Oset thought it looked cool. It feels cold. And you keep walking, and eventually you see a light at the end of the tunnel, and you can hear some muffling as Eddie, Ronda, and some third person, again, another key clone, just start talking to each other. I don't know, I think that's a bit harsh, don't you think, Eddie? My dear Ronda, you have a heart of gold. Unfortunately, the people in this crowd have no regard for gold. They are elite snobs who do not give anything to others. Our benefactor, however, oh, well, they are most generous indeed. I guess they are pretty nice. I mean, like, that's how we met, right? Yeah, I think it was my birthday, wasn't it? Yes, Rhonda. Although, every day with you feels like a birthday. And, yeah, they're just talking as you all walk up to the room. I described this room previously, but to re-summarize it, it is a sterile room with white walls. One of the walls had a glass window on it, which has since been blocked by a metal barrier that Oset had automatically go down when intruders were detected. Inside of the room, a collection of rare and powerful Necromon are kept not in cards, but instead in glass boxes, each of which has a blue light surrounding it, like the light of a Necromon arena. The room itself is also illuminated by this light, a wide blue light that surrounds the entire room. And you can actually see as you come in, a thin blue aura surrounds Irene's Necromon and Babcha Anya's book, similar to how it would when you would go into a Necromon arena.
A little curl of paper pokes up from the book.
Oh.
Hilda's going to give the spine a long scratch and then burst out, balloon sword raised, and shout, "Prepare yourselves! You have exactly 10 seconds to explain what you're doing here before this entire room starts to flood with pie cream."
Ah, what was that? Oh, hi!
Clock's ticking.
Ronda turns over this woman with a translucent face and a bright, plump nose and a tuft of orange hair that just is curling out from half of a Phantom of the Opera mask. And she waves to you. Eddie takes 5 of those seconds to slowly turn around.
Oh my god.
I was wondering if you would make your way here. Our benefactor was certain you would, although I must admit, I had my doubts.
I had my doubts he would ever get out of that card, Irene says, stepping out from behind Hilda.
Oh, he takes a step back. You're here too, I see.
Hello, old friend.
He sneers under a mustache. Hello, detective.
In the background, Sparky just puts her hands up. Is this what it's like for Hilda not knowing about the key clones?
I want Quique to also like show up there like, hello again, Eduardo.
Oh, Aurelio. Well, I must say I am very surprised to see you. Don't you have some slap chop samurai or something like that to watch at home? You know, getting embroiled in all this is much too much excitement, isn't it?
Well, watching that has given me plenty skills for me to take you on if necessary. You could ask some of your other associates. Oh wait, some of them have been knocked out by me.
Oh wow, a copy got knocked out. An imitation of a sad old man got knocked out by the sad old man. How terrifying! And when he says that, the bandit, Quique, the one that's in like the ski mask and the thieving gear, looks up, offended at Eddie. And Eddie just looks down and says, "Oh, not you. You're great. Just go back to work." And then he turns back to you.
Well, considering you're one of them, I think you should be pretty worried.
As I told you last time, Aurelio, I am not a copy. I have ascended to greater purposes.
Ah, sure you have. Sure you have. Keep telling yourself that, Eduardo.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
I said keep telling yourself that. I didn't say that I acknowledged it.
The point is, I regret to inform you that this has nothing to do with you, so you can just be on your way, go back home. Let me take care of this. It won't get in your way at all.
Another little curl of paper pops up.
Sparky's just taking it in. This is the most information she's ever gotten on Quique.
I had a thing I wanted to do while they were monologuing at each other. Hilda wanted, while they were talking, to just go over to the other key clone in the ski mask and, like, poke him with the balloon sword and be like, "Hey, so, what are you actually doing here? You can't go back to thieving yet. The timer still stands. What's going on?"
Yeah, I'm just gonna say you do it. Eddie is gloating. He loves his monologues. You don't even gotta roll for that.
Good for Eddie.
So, the sneaky key clone looks up to you and is like, "Oh, what was that?"
What are you actually doing here?
"Oh, I mean, well, we're gonna take this thing from like this thing, and then the benefactor wants us to take it, move it up, so we gotta be really quiet. That's why I was chosen, because I'm like really quiet in the way that I speak. I don't like to speak a whole lot. It just makes me intimidated."
So when you say thing, are you taking the Necromon, or are you taking something else that's in here?
And he points to the pedestal, and you can see that it has a blank page identical to the one that Quique gave you earlier today in it. And he says, "Oh no, I was just told to take this thing."
Ah, crud.
Why?
2 legs poke out.
He looks back to Sparky and is like, "Oh, I don't know. He says that his benefactor wants it or something like that. I don't question."
Yeah, but... okay, so you're just a lackey. You don't know anything.
I mean, that's a bit harsh.
But is it wrong?
No, but it's still harsh.
I don't mean to interrupt your work, but,
Unfortunately, though, I do. And you hear the cocking of a gun.
Oh, no!
And you turn over and you see,
Excuse me?
next to you, a woman dressed in extremely vibrant clown makeup.
Gonna have to explain that one a little bit more, Kyle.
You're gonna have to have more words.
You have to give us some more details.
We're gonna need a little bit more.
The woman looks at you, Hilda. "I must say, Hilda, dear, you little cutie, your mom does have a wonderful sense of fashion, although she doesn't use quite enough pink for my taste.
Who the F are you?
The woman gets really upset at that and is like,
Maybe it's Maybelline, but she looks a little bit too good to be Maybelline right here.
Like, we would
the
recognize...
gun just points towards you, Sparky.
Good!
Wow,
Good!
what a great, that was a really expert backhanded compliment. It would be really effective if it wasn't the pot calling the kettle black.
I've never tried.
Anyways,
I just want to interrupt and tell you that your insult to Sparky didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, she's
like,
right.
You were getting a backhanded compliment, but then you said the pot calling the kettle black, implying that Sparky looks really good right now. So it was kind of a self-own again.
no,
That's why I said I've never tried, because this is just effortless.
the compliment.
But you didn't get it because you're not smart enough.
She points to the gun at the key clone. The point is, I needed to get into this room, but realized that anybody would recognize my iconic style. And since your clownish mother is here, I figured I could just put on some similar makeup and sneak in amongst the crowd. And now that I am here, with a gun, mind you, I feel like we all sort of glossed over that. I would like what's in that box, please. And he's just like, And at that, Eddie will notice Maybelline pointing the gun and be like, oh, well, now, what do we have? Oh! Maybelline pulls out a second gun and points it at
Oh my god.
Eddie. I will say, the little stunt you pulled tonight did make infiltrating this chamber more useful, but you've outlived your usefulness to me.
Are you going to shoot someone who's already dead? Just curious.
Well, just because something doesn't kill you doesn't mean it can't hurt.
I do want to hear more of what she has to say. However, what I'd like to do more is use designated driver to call my van. Beep, beep, motherfucker! That's the bad swear.
Yippee-ki-beep.
Here it comes!
Describe designated driver.
Describe the skill or what I'm doing?
Yeah, describe the move.
All right, the move. You have a reliable means of transportation that is able to carry you and the other PCs, e.g. a car, bus pass, soul-bonded dragon, etc. Spend 1 AP to have this means of transportation appear in a critical moment, and if you are in the middle of a confrontation that involves a chase, fill your confrontation clock by 1. I have exactly 1 AP.
Give me one quick second. I gotta read what I wrote here. But yeah, here's the secret final upgrade that Big Jake gave to your car.
Remote summon. I like to think it's like the bison whistle from Avatar: The Last Airbender. They just blow into it and Appa shows up. She's got a van whistle shaped like her van. It's just a little van.
Sparky, I will let you decide. Is the vehicle coming from A, the library, B, a nearby hallway, C, the floor, or D, the ceiling?
Not the ceiling, Hallie.
The floor is so much funnier because this is a whale erupted from the ground and just whoosh came up. So yeah, from beneath Maybelline, as she's aiming 2 guns, Western style, a look that is too cool for her. A van just fucking...
So you want it under Maybelline?
Yes.
You're gonna have to roll me take a swing for that.
Oh, okay.
Come on, car, you can do it. Come on, Hallie, the dice are on your side.
No, they're not. Don't say that. The dice have never been on my side. 9. I was so close to a no strings attached success.
You're gonna hit your target.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit Maybelline,
Good.
but you have to choose 1 benefit and 1 drawback.
Who does Makar hit?
The benefit is that she's hit by my car. And she's no longer aiming guns at people because
Okay.
like the guns she drops them. She drops the guns.
Okay, she drops the guns.
Yeah. The drawback.
Do you also hit one of us with your car?
Who does Makar hit?
Do it, Hallie.
Not in this party. I can't do that.
Who does
I won't have it hit a party member.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's someone else. That's fine. As long as it's not a party member.
It's someone or something you didn't intend to.
Okay.
So you said you have a whistle, right?
Yeah, like a bison whistle, but for a van.
So you just whistle without saying anything?
Yeah, I just pull out a fucking whistle that JKL gave me at some point in the past that Sparky has told no one about, and I blow on it.
Beep, beep.
It flies in from however high up we are.
We're in space!
We're in the upper atmosphere.
That's right.
Glass everywhere. Full John McClane action sequence. There's an explosion in the corner for no reason. People don't have shoes anymore. No.
The car comes up from the ground, knocking Maybelline to the floor. And we hear a crash alongside that, like a clinking of glass. And then the blank page, which has been freed from the container, lands right in front of her.
Booker bolts for it.
Ooh! And it's time for a 3-way confrontation.
Yeah.
So the way confrontations work normally is you have a clock and your opponents have a clock, based on what your goal is. In a 3-way confrontation, it's similar. There are 2 clocks. There is you, and there is everybody else. And the reason we do that is because as players, your rolls and dice influence not the world as a whole, but instead how you interact with it. So it doesn't matter that both Maybelline and Eddie want the blank Booker page. What matters is that they are working against you. So it's basically a normal confrontation. The only difference is going to be that when you make actions, I'm going to keep in mind, is this affecting Maybelline more, or is this affecting Eddie and his team more? And based on basically who you screw over the most, will determine who gets first, second, and third place at the end of this confrontation.
Good.
So, Eddie wants the blank page, and Maybelline wants the blank page. Booker also wants the blank page, but you as a team have to decide what is your want out of this confrontation.
I guess.
I think we want the blank page.
Yeah, because like obviously I want whatever Maybelline wants so that she doesn't have it, and that's the blank page apparently.
All right. So to set the scene, with a loud roar, the White Eyes Blue Dragon gets all the other creatures in their containers riled up. Maybelline, Eddie, and Booker all at once are trying to pounce on this blank page. What do you all do?
I think I also just want to pounce on the blank page. I'm ready to get in there with some fisticuffs. What's up, party people? That's my battle cry.
Can I cause Maybelline to slip on a banana peel?
Yes, describe how you're going to cause Maybelline to slip on a banana peel.
I'm going to utilize a move here. Use my pull pranks descriptor move to spend my one and only AP to have a banana peel on hand that's just going to whoop, fling it out right in front of her.
Roll, take action, or sneak. Oh, also, everyone's clock is 4. I figured we'd just do a conventional.
I've never rolled so poorly in my life. It's not a triple snake eyes, but I guess with the bonus it will at least be a 7. But I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
All right, yeah, describe how you throw this banana peel, and it kind of works.
Just a soggy banana.
There's no technique to it, it's just there's no room to do the magic here. And Tilda is thinking on her feet because she was currently bouncing between pulling a page out from behind Maybelline's ear and like trying to John McClane a different balloon sword attached to her back. Just yoinks it out right in front of her.
You actually successfully trip her, but she slips over and she trips over Booker, who flips onto his back.
No, my baby!
Giving Eddie time to grab the page and go, heh, best Quique. Yeah, so he's got the page and he's gonna start running, while Booker just on his back lets out an angry
waggling his little legs, upset.
So both clocks fill by 1, right?
Yes. You can inflict an effect on someone instead. I have a list of ideas. It essentially means, like, in extreme case, I cut off his leg, preventing a character from, using the leg, or inactivating moves, or setting them in a scenario where they're busy having to take care of something else.
Mm-hmm. I think I will go for clock filling.
I'm going to go for that as well. So each clock is filled by one. Booker, who has been rejuvenated by the light, is on his back, and you can actually see that the blue light is coming around him even more so, and he's starting to get some of those special pages that he gets when he's in his ultra form in an arena, which would normally be really cool.
The one thing to defeat an Ultra Necromon being flipped on their back. Currently, he's just still wailing and kicking his little legs because he's so mad.
Eddie, meanwhile, is going to run away like, ha ha ha! Screw all of you! Let's go, Ronda! All right, well, I mean, like, okay, yeah, let's get going. Should we bring the... forget him! He's as much scum as the other Quiques. I was just saying otherwise to make him feel nice.
No.
Oh, no!
And Ronda and Eddie start running to the hallway. We'll say they're running to the hallway to escape.
Popia wants to go comfort the other abandoned skeleton. That's their thing now.
You succeed. You've made another friend.
Yay! Okay, as Sparky, however, I would like to just chase down Eddie and smack Book Pro him in the face.
I rolled to take a swing.
Woohoo!
And that is with advantage because of Smack Book Pro.
Smack Book Pro. And advantage is an extra die, right?
Yeah, and then you take the top two.
Okay. I don't need to roll a third die, actually, because I got Maleta! Woo!
Holy shit.
6, 2 6s, 6, 2 6s! Maleta!
You did it!
Roll it to see if you get a third 6.
What? That's never gonna happen. 4.
Oh.
You ruined it.
All right, so you can either take 2 clocks filled or you can take a clock filled and an effect.
Who are you hitting with this?
Eddie.
You could put him in pieces so he can't run away.
Could I take 1 clock fill and the PCs get 1 ongoing for the rest of the confrontation?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that one.
You smack him.
So good.
But how does smacking him also give everyone a benefit against him, Ronda, and Maybelline for the rest of this confrontation?
Because
I also just realized your car is still there.
my car is still there.
In the middle of the room.
Let's say, just for yucks, like, Maybelline is climbing out from under the car at the same time that I whack Eddie so hard with the Smackbook Pro, one of his bones comically flies into the distance and whacks Maybelline in the face just as she's emerging, and then she's knocked back. So now I don't actually know why that gives us +1 ongoing, but that was a thing I was using to justify it.
Both of them are rattled.
Both of them are rattled.
Eddie more literally so.
Yeah.
How dare you? I was just about to say him literally.
And then I would like to take the page from him. Can I do that?
Yeah, we'll say that you have the page.
Okay, I want to take the page and not really thinking about it. I want to do like a Pirates of the Caribbean, I have a jar of dirt thing that was a meme for a while that Jack Sparrow does. And I'll be like, ha! I got your fucking page! I'm coming! And then, like, just the morale of seeing someone who's, like, on their team having the page also gives +1 ongoing. Like, aha! He didn't get away.
And then now that you have the page, is that what's happening right now?
I didn't think this far ahead. I guess I'm trying to get it to Booker because it's his page.
What I would really love to do is unleash all the captive Necromon and set them upon our enemies.
Yes.
But I don't know how to do that.
Well, try however you want.
Is there like a button? Do not push button.
If you give me an AP, there will be a do not push button.
I will give you an AP. I'll give you an AP to have a button that I could just push.
Yeah, there's a do not push button. So to set the scene, whack! Eddie's head has fallen off. He's trying to get it back. One of the bones flies off, hits Maybelline, who's just demoralized at this point. Sparky lifts up the page and starts running back to get it to Booker. And then, Irene, you wanted to open the floodgates?
Irene's further away, and she tells Quique to push it, and Quique can push it with his hand that went on the journey with the Necromon Strike Force team, and it all comes full circle.
Sure, that sounds like a good idea. I'll do that.
Alright, Quique, roll me take action.
Oops, sorry, the dice failed. That didn't count. That's a 5.
I should never have trusted you, Quique.
Describe how you all try this and fail.
Oh,
it out and pointed, but one or more of the Necromon got overexcited and tripped Quique.
Oh no.
It was Boidle Rat.
Oh no.
It was Boidle Rat.
It was Boidle Rat.
I didn't want to name names, but we all know it was Boidle Rat. We all know it's Boidle Rat.
Aurelio. You really need to get a team that would work together.
Honestly, so do you. Where's your team? I haven't seen that they are doing things.
Why bother finding a powerful Necromon team when I'm the most powerful Necromon I could ever encounter? You know,
Can I interrupt his speech to punch him in the face?
Roll me take a swing.
Yeah, is it fine?
Yeah. I'm not going to have this influence anything. He's still going to get his benefit, but I just want to see if you punch him.
9.
Yeah, you hit him pretty good. Not like big enough to do anything, but he's like, you are so rude and mean. But not in the Machiavellian way. Anyways, the thing I wanted to explain is that my element is skeletons, and that includes things like skeletal structures. So say goodbye to Sparky Malarkey.
What the fuck?
And with that, the skeleton of the room next to him, the framing starts tearing open as he points a hand towards it. And a giant gap into the vacuum of space opens up.
What the fuck? Sparky Malarkey!
Sparky, roll me take action.
Okay, my fierce is 0. Yeah, that's right. But I get the +1 ongoing. 11.
Oh!
12 with the +1 ongoing.
Okay, perfect.
Oh!
So you still suffer the consequences of the effect. I just wanted to see how bad it was.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we've used some effects before, right? But one of the effects I wanted to use was less something like, oh, this ability is taken away, or you get -1 ongoing. I wanted to do my favorite kind of effect. One in which you are put into a scenario that you have to roll to succeed at, and succeeding that roll won't count towards filling your clock. However, if you just let the scenario be, every quote-unquote turn you take without resolving that will be a turn that situation automatically gets worse. The vacuum of space, Sparky, pulls you out, but just in time, there's a loose nail.
Yeah! Nails!
A thick, loose nail that you're able to grab onto.
I have the paper. I've got the nail.
You have the paper in one hand, you're holding onto the nail in the other, and you can hear it creak as it starts to pull out a little bit.
Okay.
Important question just for all of us here.
Yeah.
What's happening to everyone else if the chamber is decompressing?
You're not quite in the vacuum of space.
You
so
just said we were in the vacuum of space.
You're in like the close to vacuum of space. It's like
the ozone layer of space.
we're going like sci-fi movie rules that doesn't
Yeah.
want to be brutal, where it's like if you're far enough away from it, you're fine. But if you're like right in the vicinity, you get pulled in.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Unless, Tom, you all want to be pulled out to the vacuum of space, only one of you would survive that.
It's me, because I'm already dead.
Actually, when Sparky goes out, Eddie will just, very tired, turn to you, Quique, and say, I know we have our differences, Aurelio, but you're welcome.
This is low even for you.
Even for us.
No, even for you.
You have to pick a side, Quique. Either I am you, or I'm not you.
When did I said you were me?
When you said I was just a copy.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't mean that you're me. That means that you're a copy. Like, you have a copy of a paper. The copy is not the same as the paper. You want to go philosophical here? I have no time.
Have you ever heard of the idea of the skeleton of Theseus?
He's already gone. Like, between you and Sparky, I somehow like Sparky more, and he's gonna go and try.
Are you doing a spacewalk to save Sparky Malarkey?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Unless, I think Tom was saying something.
Yeah, I had a plan along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt anyone else's plans, but Hilda was gonna, like, look at Booker, do, like, a nod.
Is he off his back yet?
Hilda was gonna grab Booker under her arm get in Sparky's car and drive the car out into space to get Sparky.
Drive the car into space.
I want it to be a combination of Quique doing the spacewalk and the car doing the cars.
I'm going to count one of these as towards saving Sparky, and one of these is towards making things better, because I don't think there's really a way to say this is a combo attack, but I want both to happen. So Quique, you're going to roll Keep Your Cool, because you're, trying to do a spacewalk. And Hilda, you're going to roll Touch the Other Side, because I'm pretty sure you don't know how to drive a car.
What? So touch the other side. What do we roll with that?
That's books.
Is Keep Your Cool plus Leak?
Plus Slick, yes.
12. It's 30, 12, but it's 12.
Jesus. All right.
I rolled a natural 12.
Oh!
So we're going to start with Quique, because it sounds like the plan more directly involves saving Sparky's, where Hilda's was more akin to vehicular manslaughter.
Wow, fucking rude.
So, yeah, Sparky, the nail is pulling more and more, and you're starting to lose your breath. And Quique, you see this, and how do you save Sparky Malarkey?
He's just very reluctantly going to grab her hand, I guess.
Just grab her by the collar, the rudest way.
Yeah, I like that. Grab her by the collar and like
she chokes even more.
no, but not like that. But in cartoons where there's somebody sitting down and you're grabbing them.
Basically the same vibes as pulling someone by their ear.
Yeah.
Please, there's no air left to choke.
Yeah, exactly. That was my thought. Sparky's not getting any breath anyway.
And she's gonna slowly do it. Just really reluctant.
As she's being pulled in.
It's the second time that I saved your life, Sparky. I hope you remember that and repay it someday.
What do you mean the second time? There are 2 times?
There was one time when you were in this weird, creepy lake thing, and I had to drag you out of it.
I got the rutabaga lake.
Yeah, you were talking exactly. That's you were talking about that instead of being useful, and I dragged you out of it. So really, you should repay me about this someday, but that's not important now. I guess I'm glad you are not overpopulating the necropolis today. And just walks away.
Sparky is confused. She's shaken for multiple reasons, such as losing oxygen, and also Quique saved her twice, apparently.
I'm disappointed, Aurelio. Sticking your neck out for her? I mean, you would do it for me, though, right, Eddie? Of course, dear Ronda, but you are an actually enjoyable person.
Listen, honestly, I did it to spend less time with your whatever talk this is. So if it's between
he starts doing the blabbing hand.
Yeah, that's you. That's how you sound like. Exactly like that, and he's gonna do the hand thing.
And Hilda, what do you do?
So the plan here was drive car out into space, pull Sparky into the car, and then since this car got all the way up here, surely that means it can get back.
Yeah.
We re-enter the atmosphere in the Sparky's car.
Check out.
Ride it down to the planet.
Made the van space-proof, so now we can just zoom off into space playing Hooked on a Feelin'.
It's a reliable mode of transportation, it says it in the move.
That's what it is. This is just like how in Be Cool Scooby-Doo, Fred has outfitted the Mystery Machine to be like a submarine and a helicopter.
And I did get a nat 12 with this roll as well.
So, we're gonna say, is it alright if Irene's in the car?
I was considering pulling the entire party in and just having us drive out into space.
I mean, I could just be chilling with Maybelline and her guns. It's fine.
Yeah, Quique and Sparky, you see as Sparky's van just drives up next to you, and the door dramatically opens up. And Hilda, I'll let you take the seat if you want to do anything.
Well, this doesn't say anything because it's space, but just, pulls both Quique and Sparky into the van.
Whee!
Quique's gonna do the way that, Steve Harrington reacts when he sees Dustin driving the car, what? Kid should not be driving and like trying to like take Hilda out of the wheel so that he can be the proper responsible adult who drives car.
What did we decide versus Irene in or out of the van?
Well, Irene is busy, so
I figured we'd put you all in the van so that you can drive out.
okay.
Great. I think it'd be really funny if it was like a drive-by and they just grabbed Irene by the back of her shirt, also in a cartoonish manner, and whipped her into the van and then slammed the door shut before we just like
Pull up, open the side doors, drag her into the van.
It's like we're kidnapping a child, but in a good way this time.
And
We're gonna drive out to the vacuum space, baby.
We're gonna fill our clock by running away.
We're gonna drive
Into the solar system we go!
We're re-entry. We're going back down to the planet the hard way.
And after you all leave, it's silent for a moment in Osetsuba's collection before Ronda eventually breaks the silence with, "Wow, so how's everybody doing?" And then you hear a little and all of the glass barriers protecting Osetsuba's collection go down because Emily privately paid me 1 AP to press the button outside of combat.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
According to a Google search that I just quickly did, it takes about 2 minutes and 23 seconds to fall from space. So while the party does exactly that, let's have an announcement break. First off, if you signed up for the fan work exchange that I talked about last announcement break, I will be sending out assignments for that later today or tomorrow. And if you're listening to this episode on the day it comes out and you are interested, go check the link that I put in last episode because I'm only going to close signups when I actually send out the emails. Besides that, all I've got for you today is another show promo. So, hey, listen! Do you want to find out more about tabletop and live role-playing games, but you're not sure where to start? Do you want to play a lot of different role-playing systems, but just don't have the time to try them all? Do you want to listen to new and exciting adventures without the boring character creation and filler story arcs? Well, you're in luck. If any of those things sound interesting to you, you can check out What Am I Rolling, which is a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. That's What Am I Rolling with a question mark. And remember, adventurers need not apply. All right, well, music considered, we're probably getting close to everyone landing on the ground, so that's all I've got for you today. This year, we're going to do something special for Christmas again, so in 2 weeks, on December 26th, Hallie and I will return to the harrowing world of Hallmark with another Hallmarked episode. I'll see you then. Cut away and we see the car. We don't even see how it gets to the ground. We just see all of the Rons and the Undertakers in front of the Scuba Corps space scraper. A lot of them are starting to raid it because we'll say the crowd went and like took out some of the key clones on the lower floors. And we don't see how the van got down. We just cut to the ground and we see it round the corner in front of the space scraper.
I did not expect it to be intact after this.
Thanks, Jake Hell.
So what you're saying is that Big Jake Hell made sure it didn't Big Jake fell.
Honestly, I don't know how compliant this is with the lore, but I would love if, like, none of this actually was, like, a thing about the car and Big Jake Hell was just using, like, other side magic to be like, they drove it into space.
No, when you fall down into orbit, you know how like it flames up?
Yeah. Because you're going super fast.
Yeah, that's not actually the physics effect. That flame is Big Jake Hell trying to redirect the car.
What a good guy.
I put my life's work into this van. You can't destroy it by driving it into space.
Honestly, seems like a better boyfriend than certain people whose names begin with L and end with Ukas Bang.
I do not hear this.
All right, so you're all in a car in front of the space scraper.
I should write Jake Kell a better thank you note.
I think I need to go sit down now with a blanket. I think I am beginning to feel the early onset of shock.
Oh no.
Oh, you are only in the early part of it? I was under the impression we were further in.
I mean, yeah, probably. My brain just missed the memo.
Quique will sit next to them and hug them.
Oh.
While Quique is sharing the tender moment with the children, we're on the ground and the Undertakers are outside, yeah?
Yeah.
I want to stumble out my van. Like, the intention is to, like, kick the van door open, somebody once told me style, and be like, go fix it. But, you know, a lot has happened, so it's more like a stumble out, and she has to, like, grab onto the door to steady herself, and she's like, crimes! I got you got here. We did it!
All right, we're going to flash forward quickly, if that's all right. Bite has basically immediately, once Sparky said things, surrounded the vans. A lot of Undertakers, which again are the guys in like the Aloha shirts with the sunglasses and the khaki pants. You occasionally catch a glimpse of an Overseer. Overseers look more like stereotypical men in black. They're much more unsettling figures with black trilby hats, round sunglasses, and long trench coats. Quique, you might do you ever check the phone that you were using to contact with the Rons?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say, I don't know if I made the joke back on that one session when he's like, tell me if they're smiling, but if they're all skeletons, I guess he would have just told.
You said that immediately, and Overseer Cold said, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Do you make that again, though? Do you get another message from Overseer Cold saying, so were any of them laughing, and you say again?
Yeah, I say it again.
Yes.
I hope Officer Cold hates us.
So Bite was there, Undertaker's there, the, dire fighters were there as well, emergency services, essentially. They look like old firefighters. I saw this image the other day, old firefighters, like, their, helmet is like this big black mask. Essentially, if you took a firefighter's helmet, made it black, and then put it down over their entire head.
Like a welder or a beekeeper.
Yeah, and with big bulky suits of armor. They look terrifying. Very sweet, though. And we're doing the thing that, you have at the end of a stereotypical action movie where you're sitting in the back of the ambulance with, like, the cup of hot cocoa and the blanket.
The shock blanket, yeah.
Yeah, a shock blanket.
Irene keeps pushing the blanket off of her.
Hilda's cuddling Booker
Cool.
and also holding 2 pages.
Well,
Wait, Sparky still has one.
if Booker's seeing them, he's going to be wildly obsessed with them and, like, being a total menace.
Yeah, no sense delaying the inevitable. Hilda will give him the first page at least.
Okay. You're sitting there. Let's say everyone's given you space. They said, all right, we're going to have a couple of folks talk to you, but for now, we'll leave you alone. So it's just the 4 of you, the 4 PCs, and Booker snatches the page up immediately. And he noms it like any other page. And the page disappears. But after a moment, you notice that one of the ripped spaces where a page should be starts weaving itself back together again, slowly, bit by bit, reassembling itself. And as it does, Booker's eye flame ignites, and you see an image. It's a hard-to-see image, because it's an image inside of flames, but it's unmistakably an image of a man. He looks young, but with how death works, that says nothing about his age. The only thing you notice about him is his curious temperament and his inquisitive cat-like eyes. And then through the flames, you hear the echoes of this man speak. How curious.
Cool.
So you're saying you catalog things, information, things that happen?
Record.
You're remarkable, Fred. Did you know that?
Record.
And you are my saving grace. Well, so I told you already, I believe, that woman, at least I think she was a woman, unless, there are humanoid necromon or something like that. She told me the most curious things. Interesting. He kind of looks and smiles. Would you like to come along with me? It's been a while since I traveled without a companion. Wonderful. We're gonna do great things, friend. We're gonna find out all the mysteries of this world. And the man turns over, and with a spark of the flame in Booker's eye, you can see a third eye emerge on his forehead. And he says, I can taste the intrigue already. And the flame goes back in, and Booker looks like his normal flame eye, but he's perked up a little bit. I've sent you a list of advancements, Tom. Booker now gains one of those permanently.
Oh.
He wiggles his little butt.
Also, I assume this is all something only Booker experienced, right? Like nobody else saw that or heard that?
All of you saw the image in the flame. Basically, Booker's eye flame ignited and showed you this image as if Booker was showing a recording.
He's a little projector, Mon.
Yeah.
I mean, I am like 99% certain of
You're right,
of
Ari.
who that is. So like, Quique would definitely be like have a double take and then just be like, Teo?
Do I recognize that? Does that sound familiar to me at all?
It sounds nice. You don't remember the details. You only really remember the conversation that was seen, but that name makes you happy.
Very cool.
I have suddenly a lot more questions and interest about this book of yours, kid. What?
Who's Teo?
Mateo. He I guess he still is my partner. He's a really good friend, but I haven't seen him in a long time, so I thought it's strange to see him in this eye stock of your book now. He's like approaching and like, trying to
Booker, he doesn't have a neck, but the motion that he does is like if he was pulling his head back into his neck a little bit, like you are getting very close to me, Sir Skeleton.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm becoming too much like Sparky. I am so sorry about that. I understand the personal space situation here.
Caught up by the intrigue.
Just 1 second, Sparky. If you hear or if you see him on your eye stalk again, would you?
Booker walks in a circle and then lays down, not paying attention anymore.
Well, I guess I'll just write him a letter next time and ask him what's up with that. It just takes forever to reach over there.
Write a letter to whom?
God, why are you still here?
This is not Eddie.
Oh.
Flick, click, flick, click. You look up to the voice that spoke to you, and the first thing you see is a lighter opening and closing. But when you see the rest of it, you see a man. The man. On the surface, not much about this figure sticks out. He's a tall man wearing business casual clothing. Khakis, dress shoes, a simple collared shirt with the top 2 buttons undone, and one hand loosely resting in his pocket, while the other idly plays with a lighter, adding a slightly singed smell to the otherwise overpowering scent of bottom shelf cologne. Honestly, if it weren't for the name tag this man was wearing, he would seem like just a regular middle manager, and you wouldn't have even been able to guess that this was an overseer leading a raid on one of the world's largest companies. Even at first glance, though, something about this man feels instinctually off. And then you notice the details. You notice how his hunched pose never changes, how it seems less like a casual posture and more like a carefully crafted facade. You notice that the cologne is only so strong in order to mask the unmistakable smell of death. Not death in a literal way, mind you, but instead the empty, stale stench of stagnation. You notice the color of his lighter's flame, a sickly green, and how even though he's clearly standing on the ground, the man still seems to float, only leaving a shadow in the light cast from the flame at his head. But above all else, you notice the smile. It's a stiff, wide smile that wraps all the way to the sides of his head. A smile that's clearly meant to be comforting, but that feels more like a predator baring their teeth, or a corpse stuck in joyous rigor mortis. Normally I don't like to tell you how you feel about things, but there is something supernaturally upsetting about this creature. Overseer Cold looks to you, Quique, and he smiles. I mean, he always smiles. So more his head with his smile turns towards you. Ah, yes, I believe you are the man that I am to thank for my assistance this evening. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I believe so. Are you the one that texted me on the phone asking me about the smiling thing and my thing that I replied that, yeah, I mean, skeletons are always smiling?
A wonderful joke, as always, but you are certain that there was no laughter?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember offhand if Eddie laughed at some point, but...
I think he did.
Okay, he would say that. Actually, there is one. His name is Eduardo. He's like always kind of smirking and laughing and feeling kind of all superior. So if that helps for any of your weird tallies that you're keeping, he would be the one to look for.
Eduardo. He is the fifth, I presume?
Yes, if you want to count them that way.
I just like to keep my ducks in a row. I'm sure that an employee of the very esteemed Kimmy Card would feel the same.
Yes, I mean, I do pride myself in having things ordered and organized. I don't know exactly. I can give you a better report on the exact crime and went into that. He, tried to toss this lady over there, Sparky Malarkey, into the space.
Ah, yes. Your wonderful assistant.
My sub-assistant. My co-assistant is not Sparky. She would be, way below me on the scale.
Of course, your sub-assistant. The wonderful investigative reporter, Catherine Mueller. Or Sparky Malarkey, as I believe she likes to be called. I do certainly hope you're not injured at all. He looks towards you, Sparky.
You were having a fake name all this time. Of all fake names, you went with Sparky Malarkey.
Well, yeah, why would an adult name someone Sparky Malarkey? Irene whispers.
I mean, I've heard worse names, kid. You just haven't lived long enough.
Sparky stares back at him and says, no. I was gonna have a biting response, but, I can't think of one, and neither can Sparky. She's too tired, so she's just going to be surly.
I understand you're exhausted, and I wouldn't blame her too much, Aurelio. We all like to keep our secrets.
What?
Some of us prefer to hide our names, some of us prefer not to say things.
It's not a secret, I just don't like it.
And he points to Irene. Some of us don't like talking about our siblings.
And some of us never shut up.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying that I am a friend, and you can feel free to discuss
Friends don't have to say they're friends.
anything with me at any point.
Sounds like you already know everything anyway, so why bother?
The smile widens,
Great.
but he does not laugh.
Yeah, good.
Irene has crossed her arms and is glaring at the siblings' comment.
And he looks at you, Hilda, for a second out of curiosity, and you notice that Booker is scuttled to behind your back, and he cocks his head.
Can we help you?
Oh no, you have all helped me so much already. I just wanted to extend the Bureau's thank you, and let you know that if you have anything to tell me at any time, and he looks back at you, Hilda, anything at all, you can always call in and request to speak to Overseer Cold. Although, since we're friends, just tell them you want to speak to Indrid.
Completely blank-faced. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye, all. It was a pleasure meeting you, but May we meet again on better circumstances. A birthday party or something joyous like that. And he walks away. And Emily, I want you to take a GM intrusion.
I was already upset, and now I'm more upset. It's fine. I take my intrusion. Do I even get a...
Who do you give
I
the
get
point
AP?
to? Yeah, you get an AP. Who do you give it to?
I give it to Hilda for also being an weird, upset child at the bad vibes of Mr. Cold.
This is unimaginably dreadful.
Indrid Cold walks away with the flick, click, flick, click, flick. And for a moment he stands there, illuminated by the small light of the pocket lighter, which, despite being so small, seems to extend a shadow from him out that almost covers all of you. And he waits for a moment, then flicks it down and turns back and says, "Actually, Miss Hawthorne, I did have something I needed to talk to you about, if you would just join me for a moment."
I would prefer to have I would prefer to have parental supervision.
Oh yes, a parent, a guardian, a lawyer, something along those lines. Do not worry, Elliot is already on the scene.
He's what?
He's what?
No, thank you.
He extends an arm and motions out. Please, come this way.
I don't,
Hilda's gonna get in front of Irene and say, "No, thank you. We are currently in shock and on our way to get medical attention. You'll have to talk to us later."
Flick, 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 click, flick, click. The lighter starts flicking with more intensity as Indrid Cold steeps over you, his smile an inch from your face.
Irene pushes Hilda aside a little bit. It's fine, I'm coming.
Hilda is going to push back on that push and not budge.
Such gumption. It was not a request, though.
Is Irene under arrest?
We cannot discuss the details at the time.
I don't see Elliot here right now. This all seems very suspicious. So I'm going to have to say, no thanks.
The lighter flicks, and all the overseers have sunglasses on. All the undertakers and overseers. Overseer Cold doesn't. It almost looks like a flame emerges from his two green eyes. And Hilda, I want you to roll take action with disadvantage.
I want to do an opposing roll.
Against who?
Against Hilda.
Oh no!
Okay.
I don't want Hilda getting in trouble.
Can I spend an AP to help Hilda somehow?
Do you want to just, help keep Irene from leaving, or how are you going to help Hilda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say that your help, so it's no longer disadvantage, Tom.
Okay. Can we assume that declare guilty is in effect in this case, even though I have not,
Yeah.
explicitly said those words?
Yeah, what does declare guilty do?
Declare guilty, declare a particular character a threat to you or those you care about, roll with +1 ongoing whenever your actions directly oppose that character for the remainder of the scene or confrontation, only one character at a time.
Okay.
I want to use 1 AP and my overextends.
Oh.
Normally that would auto-succeed. Since you're doing an opposed roll, I'll give you double advantage for that.
So what, 4 dice?
4 dice, results of top 2.
Woo! That would be an 11.
And is that roll trying to beat my roll?
Yeah.
That will be difficult since I rolled a 12.
Oh.
Indrid Cold flicks the green light, and a shadow, his shadow, illuminated by the light, begins to emerge around all of you. Hilda and Irene, what are you doing?
Irene is trying to pull away from Hilda to go with Indrid Cold because she's worried that Hilda's going to get in trouble.
Hilda is holding on tightly to Irene's arm and keeping herself in between Indrid Cold and Irene.
Indrid Cold seems not to care. The sickly green light at his hip grows brighter, and his shadow more looming. And then Quique.
He does that too, because there's a line. He's trying to prevent this man from just taking a minor without any warrant or any, like, even if he had a warrant, like, this just is not okay.
And when you stand up, he clicks the lighter closed again, and his eyes return to normal as the shadow recedes. Give my well regards to Mateo, would you? And he walks off.
He doesn't like that. This man, he just doesn't like that. Mateo has anything to do with it. The next letter he writes to Mateo is going to have a lot of questions.
All right. From that point on, you're pretty much left on your own. The Rons try to flex and show how cool they are, but they do that to everybody. Elliot is there.
Can I, in the background of that scene with Indrid Cold, I wanted to have texted Elliot with just, what the fuck? because even though Sparky spends her whole life avoiding these people, they all have each other's contact info because we have referenced group chats before.
You just get back. If anything happens to it, I'm not buying you a new van.
If anything happens to Irene, you're not getting a new sister. That's my reply.
Yes.
You were left on red. Oh
No.
That means I win.
But yeah, so you all meet up and head out. Hilda, you meet up with Alina. Yulia arrives as well. Elliot is there, but something you weren't told, Irene, is that Earl is there as well. It's hard to tell who's more confused by the situation. Elliot, who is perplexed because you were supposed to be here with Overseer Cold, or Earl, who is always confused. Quique, I would say that actually, because it hit the news, Arya wanted to just come to check up you on their own, but Yunuin was really, really worried and would not let Arya leave home without her.
Aww.
So they check up with you, and Sparky, you go home alone.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Wait, where's Lucas? Actually, you know what? I don't think Sparky's in the mood to go find Lucas. I mean, she wants to know he's okay, but...
We can play out any of those if you want. Otherwise, I was just going to ask, is there anything you all do when you go home?
Oh yeah, I have all my files. Instead of going to bed, I just start reading all of them.
It sounds like the plans have changed, but before they seemed to be changing, I was going to ask my father if I should turn myself in.
Oh no.
What? Turn yourself in for like to a doctor? I could take you to a doctor.
No, to the law enforcement.
And he looks to Elliot, who just nods to him, and Earl says, "Let's just go home, kiddo." And he kind of shelters you and takes you back into the car.
Wait, what did the nod mean? Nod to take me home or nod for me to turn myself in?
I mean, it's Elliot, so what do you think?
Booker's sleeping on Hilda. He's really cuddly today.
Hilda will cuddle with Booker and go home and cry with her moms.
Oh.
Quique's just gonna start. I mean, he has a letter already drafted, but he's gonna like scrap that and throw that out and then start again to write a letter to Mateo, starting first like, what? And then like, why? And then how? And a lot of like crossing over and then like starting again.
And as Quique finishes the letter and puts it in the envelope, we just hear these ghostly, deathly bells from outside. And noticing that, you quickly wrap it up and walk to the door.
Quique hands it in, if possible, like just saying like, I know you probably can't do much about that, but if there's any way to make it arrive faster than usual, thanks, buddy.
And Sparky, you get back home and you start flitting through the papers, right?
Mm-hmm. With reckless abandon, I use my broken coffee maker to make coffee. It broke in the Great Space Escape, but that's fine.
And if I understand correctly, this completes your investigation tracker.
It does! I had 6, and now I have 7 if you give me a point.
So you get a big plot revelation.
I sure do!
Sparky, you're sorting through the papers, and a lot of it is the stuff you already saw. In addition to the second blank Booker page, which you never actually gave to Hilda, despite the substantial effort it took to retrieve. Scuba Corps, ever since coming into town, grabs all the rutabagas. They're bought by Sammy Esther, who buys them from Out of Time. You gain a little more insight into why they buy the rutabagas, which, instead of being some grand conspiracy, seems to simply be that Oset really likes them. Like, there's a lot of Scuba family rutabaga recipes, but concerning Out of Time's rutabagas in particular, You specifically learn that Sammy Esther is the one who buys it, picks it up, and gives it to Oset Scuba. He delivers it by hand, and Oset, through records and chat logs, seems very agitated when anyone else tries to. Like he slapped it out of Maybelline's hand when she tried once. Further enforcing what Lucas said, that there seems to be a lot of trust between the two of these.
Okay.
But one of the things you see is, you see Oset being like, he's asking for a rutabaga, essentially, in one of these things. And he says, someone please get Mr. Esther, crossed out. Sammy, crossed out. Sam? Question mark, crossed out. My number 2, crossed out. My partner, crossed out. And finally, the only thing he could land on was the rutabaga boy. And suddenly you remember your vision from the beginning of this campaign.
Yeah.
The one that ended with the message, protect the rutabaga or the world ends. And that part, protect the rutabaga or the world ends, that's the part you've remembered. But then all of the other images start flashing through your mind with this new context. You remember the vision of a tower stretching into the sky, far, far higher than any other skyscraper. The vision of fierce Necromon battles, and one of the figures you can now see is a giant dragon with piercing white eyes. But the most notable feature you remember is a patchwork sewn together hand and a string of yarn hair. And you realize that the message, protect the rutabaga or the world ends, is not talking about protecting the out-of-time rutabagas. You realize that in order to stop the world from ending, you need to save Sammy Esther.
Oh, cripes.
Yeah, like, Quique watched Eddie get taken down by an 11-year-old, like, 3 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we can do this anytime, you know?
By 3 days, I mean a month.
You mean like 5 months ago?
Not 5 months ago.
It was a month between that and camping, and then it's been like 2 to 3 months since then. So
Oh,
like
it
4 months.
has?
Yeah.
Kyle keeps time skipping us.
Time progresses in our world the same as it does in...
I thought that it was a month between each sesh.
Oh, you're referring to something that happened earlier in Die Hard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the first time she took down Eddie. And I
no,
was like, that
I
was
was.
months ago.
We've been months in this heist.
Time moves so quickly in the Scuba Corps space scraper. It's been 10 years!
Has anybody seen the Mr. Bones video?
What?
No.
What?
David showed it to me, and someone made a roller coaster on Roller Coaster Tycoon called Mr. Bones.
Send it to us.
I think I've seen that. Well, I want to see that. Yeah, send that to
And
me.
the ride time is like 12 months.
Yes, I've seen that in Mr.
my
Bones'
God.
Wild Ride, and he made the world's slowest ride.
That's what it is. And then the ride exit is just another way to get to the ride entrance.
Oh no!
And the narrator is like, it's been 1 year on Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. The passengers are starving. Mutiny has broken out. And that's what I thought of just now.
Here we found the episode Mr. Scuba's Wild Ride. The van was itself a John McClane. It like...
Didn't expect John McFlan, did ya? Here comes John McFlan. That's his name now. That's my car's name. Hannelore had the Red Mary. Sparky has John McFlan.
McClan.
McVan.
John McPlane.
McPlane. McVehicle. And I blow on it.
Maybelline puts her hand with one of the guns up to her ear and says,
Well, it's silent to other people. It's like a bison whistle, Kyle.
Maybe
Keep
she's
up.
part car. Maybe she's part car.
She's part car.
She's a cyborg.
Didn't Hilda drive the van in one episode?
I drove in a semi-canonical precursor to the campaign.
Oh my
In
god.
which I tried to park Sparky's car.
That's right.
That was in a parking lot, and she also scraped multiple cars.
Okay,
I
well-
failed very badly and made things a lot worse.
And with a roar, the White Eyes Blue Dragon and all the other Necromons surround Eddie, Ronda, Maybelline, and the second key clone. And Ronda just goes, "Oh dear."
I would have taken the key clone too. That
Okay.
he was just a little.
I was gonna joke that you'd have to tear Pokio away from the sad skeleton, but it would be really funny if she just came along.
We just cut and he's in there.
Yeah.
We cut away and we see the car. We don't even see how it gets to the ground.
We just know it did.
And yeah, all of you and the quiet key clone are in the car.